our admin team who carry out many tasks, including logging on Ham Live and all the other things that go on behind the scenes to make VK Oz Hub work well and the Ozzy Pub Net work well as well. Topic we're on tonight is your preferred VHF antenna system. So tell us if you made it, bought it, all that sort of stuff. We normally stream the net on YouTube, so I'm sure Clancy's got that happening. If you want to find that, search on YouTube VK4 Charlie Golf Quebec. I'll just reset. The Pub Net is run on All-Star Node 6164 every Friday night. It can be accessed in many ways, so please check out our official website, vkozhub.com.au, for more info on that. And of course, if you haven't already, please join us on the All-Star Users Australia Facebook group and the Ozzy Pub Net Facebook group. Love to have you along, tell your mates about those two groups, the more the merrier. Big thank you to James and those involved with VK44.net who host VK Oz Hub on their server. We very much appreciate that. Also to thank you to Lee from vkdirect.com.au. He hosts our VK Oz Hub official website for nothing. It's a great deal. Big thanks to John, Robert and everybody involved in the NZL network for their ongoing connection, and also to the owners of connected repeaters, high-powered hotspots, and to all of you that've got your devices connected. We appreciate that. The net runs for 2 rounds. Round 1's our topic round. Round 2 is our 7-3 round. Big welcome to all listeners. Glad to have you along. I'll just reset. Don't forget to join us on Ham Live, which runs alongside the net for chat, photo and info sharing. So if you're not on Ham Live, just Google it, or the URL is ham.live. You can log in using your Google account, or you can make an account and log in. We'd love to have you along. It's kind of like a party beside the Ozzy Pub Net party night. It's not really a party night, it's just a net, but we tend to turn it into a bit of a party night. So yeah, get on Ham Live if you haven't ventured down that little rabbit hole. It's worthwhile, it's great fun, and you can also see the net order as well, so you can see if you're checked in, you can see when you're up. Of course, because we're at the Aussie Pub, please let the group know what you're drinking tonight. Tonight I'm just on the local tap water, the Woodford tap, the WT. It's not a bad drop. It's not a bad drop. It's just a slightly above room temperature. You've got to have the temperature right. Of course, you're welcome to check in and out to get your call in the log, or we'd love you to stay for the whole net. If you can only stay for round 1, let us know, and we'll adjust the logging to suit. Please leave breaks of at least 4 seconds between overs. Just allows the whole system to reset on every device and on the hub itself. There's a timeout time on the hub of 4 minutes, so if you go for longer than 4 minutes, we won't hear you. So just keep an eye on your time. I'll just reset. Also, you can double about the stations on the hub, just like on an FM repeater, so just be aware of that. Alright, just before I offer stations the opportunity to bump up on the list, we should see who's here and recognise the stations that have already checked in. So we've got VK2DY, VK4BNT, VK4CGQ, VK4AVN, VK5TRM, AB6MB, VK4NUT, VK4IKZ, VK3MGF, VK7DG, VK4GEO, VK7WP, VK3VBI, VK2VRJ, VK2HAO, VK4DAT, VK4AHC, VK4YT, checked in and out. We have VK3HOR and KM7BOP, so we have 24 on the list now. John, VK3HJQ, just logged in on Ham Live. There's a couple of messages for me there. All right, so looks like, let me just read here. All right, so now's the time to see if anybody wants to be bumped up the list. Looks like we're going to bump Lauren, VK4LAW, up the list. Scott, VK4NUT, is also asked to be bumped up the list. So those two stations are on the bump up. Anybody on the microphone want to be bumped up to the top of the list? Now would be the time to tell me before we get it going. You got Glenn, VK4NGA. Time to let me know if you want to be bumped up the list. Go ahead. Okay, Clancy VK4CGQ is asked to be marked as IO tonight, so that's going to happen very shortly on the list. Thanks, Clancy. So we've got two stations on the bump up. We've got VK4LAW and VK4NUT. All right, so tonight's topic is all about what kind of antenna you might be running VHF, whether it's on your car, at your QDH, or it could be any old place. Alright, so first on the bump up list is VK4NUT. So over to you there, Scott, for the Ozzy Pub Net round one topic round. Go ahead.
Yeah, VK4NGA, VK4NUT, and the Ozzy Pub Net. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the bump up there, Glenn. I don't know, my dashboard's not working. I hope I've got it, yep. I don't know where that music came from. Anyway, I see Clancy's being put down as a logger. If he wants to go IO, you can just put L and his call sign, and that will remove him from logging status. You can IO him by IO and his call sign, just in case you're not sure on how to remove it. Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. No worries. Just thought I'd give you a bit of a lesson. Yeah. Okay, guys, look, I don't know whether I'll be around for round two. I've still got to cook dinner and have a shower and do the dishes and get everything sorted, ready to pack down, and I'll be moving on tomorrow. I'm at Calliope River, on the south side of the river here. I sent a video to the team members, and very, very nice spot. But anyway, we've got a bit of rain just come through. But thanks for having the Ozzy Pub Net there, Glenn and Brent, for the night. I had 3 or 4 beers. I couldn't sit there and not have a beer looking at that the ducks swimming up and down the river. Reset. Yeah, VK4NUT, returning to the Ozzy Pub Net. And as for the topic tonight, the best UHF VHF antenna I had was a 12 decibel vertical. It was a Benco or Blanco. I purchased it through Mark Cole Communications. It was a 2 metre 77 antenna and 12 dB antenna for 270, but I did have a 14 element beam, which was great to do single sideband on 2 metres when I was in Yorkshire, and that was a home built one. A little bit of mucking around to get it sorted out, but we got it working with the help of Darren and a few of the others, and it worked quite well. Yeah, Benelec, I think was the vertical antenna. So that was the item for discussion tonight. Thanks for the bump up, guys. I've got to cook dinner and wash dishes, so I'll be listening while I'm puttering around the vent, getting ready to move tomorrow. VK4NGA in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NU2. Thanks again, Glenn.
VK4NU2 in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. I just realised I didn't ask for any other check-ins on the microphone before we started, so I better do that. Hey, thanks, Scott. Okay, on the antennas, yeah, that beam, that would have been a ripper. Yeah. I did build a beam when I was very young, like I was probably 14. I built a 3-element Yagi, just with stuff I had at home, just for listening. Wasn't a transmitting antenna, just for listening to mainly to Victorian repeaters. I was in the outer suburbs of Melbourne, and I was really keen on picking up as many repeaters as I could on my Radio Shack VHF UHF listening radio receiver. That's the one. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Scott. Yeah, all noted on that. Yes, you got to get cracking, get those jobs done, so you can get some sleep and then move on tomorrow. So it'll be good. Drive safely, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing you. All right. I note that Lauren VK4LAW has now been marked as IO in and out. So thank you, Lauren, if you're still listening, for checking in. Appreciate that. All right. So before we move on to the balance of the list, I'll just ask if there's any other stations wishing to check in before we get the net going in top gear at 140 kilometres an hour. You got Glenn VK4NGA and listening for any other stations wishing to check in. Okay, I'm not in here. That's all right. So we've got 24 on the list for tonight so far, and that's a pretty good turn up for the start of the net, I might say. Thanks to everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. Right, first on the list proper is Robert VK2DY. I'm sure you got a story too about the VHF antennas there, Robert. Over to you, VK2DY in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA. Go ahead.
This is the first thing. It's cool. It's like 21 degrees and we got like 100 days of rain overnight last night and into today, so it's a cool wet day today. Anyway, I don't really have any stories to talk about. It's been a while since I've done anything on those frequencies. I tend to be more interested in the HF propagation and HF communications than I do with the VHF. Not many repeaters in hand anymore. But anyway, just use my different intelligence with the handy-talkie, I guess. Is pretty much what I do with that. So I don't have any stories. I do have a story with my MTV finally arrived in the Sharp RF folks.
need to send you an Australia post. It's mangoes in customs in Australia. They don't need to store those, but we can get the inquiry in customs in Australia. Well, we released on 2 Monday into a holiday, and so finally got in Australia, we finally got delivered on Thursday. So now they're going to take a look at it, so hopefully we'll get fixed, because I knew that we would have 1 kg price. But anyway, I think this is finally. But if I could send in an overseas again, I can do something over in Australia post. You can see it to do that. Back to it.
Oh, fucking come on!
Just stand by, guys, please.
Lynn VK4 NGA private number.
Hello?
As you probably heard on the hell of this ring, Scott, VK4 NUT, he bumped his iPad. He's running repeater phone, I think. He was holding the note open, so it was alright. It was pretty funny, actually. We should have recorded that. Alright, VK2DY, Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 NGA, returning. Thanks to Robert. All noted on antennas, and yeah, the M1KE, well, I'm glad it's back there. I didn't know you were having trouble with it, but there you go. Sometimes things just don't go to plan. Cool little gadget. I can't see myself owning one unless I was able to do some sort of a trade with somebody that didn't want theirs, because they're a fair bit of money, and I'm pretty well kitted out with digital voice stuff, so I've nearly bought it twice, I've had them in the checkout twice and thought, nah, I'm not going to do it. So yes, well, I'm glad I got there anyway. It's the main thing, and the guys will take care of it and then look after it and fix it up or send you a replacement or whatever, and you'll be back with it. So that'll be good. Great little gadget. Alright, next up, yes, Scott's just put a message up on Ham Live. The repeater phone strikes again, yeah, it's pretty funny. The things that go on with these touchscreens, yeah, sometimes these touchscreens can be real touchy. Next up is Brent, VK4BNT. Over you there, Brent.
Yeah, VK4NGA, this is VK4BNT. Yeah, g'day everyone. Look, I don't really have a preferred VHF antenna system other than one that works. Currently I've been using a flower pot antenna that's hooked onto my gutter. And at the moment I've also got a little mag-based antenna that I've just stuck on my car, since my car doesn't move all that much at the moment. That allows me to run both my mobile rigs that I've got at the moment on my desk. Particularly useful when I am doing SSTV. I can use one for data and then one for voice. But I would definitely like to get something a little bit more permanent set up, and particularly a bit higher, because my current QTH is in a bit of a bowl. So the terrain in all directions is higher than me, and I do have some issues from time to time getting into the local repeater. I'm certainly interested instead to hear what everyone else has to say tonight. But with that, I'll hand it back to you there, Glenn. VK4NGA, VK4BNT.
VK4BNT and Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks, Brent. Yeah, I think any VHF antenna is a good antenna. I really do. I started to run a cable here in the Woodford shack to the outside. So I got a cable running to the outside. So next up is to rig up an antenna. I got a couple of. Thank you, buddy. I got a couple of things.
Hello.
This is my grandson Kirby getting me some dinner. I've got a Super Gainer copy. There's a mobile antenna. I'm just going to fit it up just on the guttering of the house. So that'll get me into local repeaters. The antenna that has given me the best performance so far is the Diamond X300, which is on the roof of my QTH at Bewar. It's up about 6 metres, and it's a very nice antenna for 270. Mind you, I mostly use it on 2 metres. Alan VK4AVN's put a picture up, and that's his antenna on the roof. That's his new Diamond Tri-Band. Pretty cool. Alright, we're going to have a net control change at 7:30 over to Brent, VK4BNT. So, speaking of Alan, VK4AVN, he's up next. So, Alan, tell us all about your antennas, mate. That's not your first antenna, that one in the picture, I know that. VK4AVN, the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA, go ahead.
VK4NGA in the Ozzy Pub Net. This is VK4AVN returning. Well, as a matter of fact, it is the first real antenna that I've ever had. The other aerial that I was using was a flower pot, but I no longer have possession of said flower pot, but I do have a spare flower pot that I'm just going to hang on to for a just in case. But that aerial that I sent a photo of is the first aerial that I actually bought, the first real aerial. Not that the flower pot wasn't real, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's a tri-band one. It does 270 and 6 metres. So very, very happy with it, and it's got to be a good 50 feet off the ground if it's an inch. Very, very happy with it, and I'm not sure of the dB gain on it, but it could be around 10 at least, I'd say. But I can now talk to Darwin Simplex. Hi. No, absolutely loving it, and I only had it up for a couple of weeks there, but certainly making a good use of it. All right, then, Glenn, thanks very much, mate. I think it's going to be a very interesting topic tonight, and people talking about their different aerials and what have you. It's going to be great. And by the way, I'm drinking iced coffee. Yep, on the hard stuff. Look out. VK4NGA in the Ozzy Pub Net. This is VK4AVN.
VK4AVN and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks, Al. Yeah, the flower pot was a real antenna, of course, but they're probably like a no-gain antenna, but they do the job. They get you on air, so that's the main thing. Yeah, that's Darwin on Simplex. That's amazing, Al. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I quite hear the one of the repeaters from Alaska from my X300. Hi. Not really. Anyway, all right. Speaking of antennas, next person on the list is Rob VK5TRM. So, Rob, tell us about any VHF antennas that you might have a favourite, maybe, or something you've made. You know the story. Whatever you've done or had in the past, tell the group. We want to know about that. I've got a couple of little stories for later on. VK52AM and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA, go ahead.
Yeah, VK4NGA in the group, VK5TRM. Yeah, good evening to everyone on the Ozzy Pub Net tonight. It's very hot and steamy down here in VK5, which is unusual. We're getting some of your Queensland weather. It's horrible. Yeah, we're going to got a fair bit of rain coming this weekend, or at least that's what they're saying on the forecast. Yeah, tropical rain, Queensland weather. Unbelievable. Considering north we're hot and dry, and we have been up until probably the last week. Anyway, now, I was going to comment too to Alan there. Good on you on the iced coffee. Yeah, I like that stuff too. It's the national drink of South Australia. Anyway, now antennas. Well, at the moment, I've got a X510 diamond up in the air, and I'm very pleased with it. Works very well. It's at 43 feet, I think, something like that. 13 metres. Yeah, so that works very, very well. But I've also got a 5-element Yagi, which is a homebrew metal, steel antenna, which is fairly heavy, but it certainly works okay too. So, as far as, as I said, I like the X510. It's been a very reliable antenna, and I'm up in the Riverland, and I can hear repeaters down in the Adelaide Hills and all that, so that's probably 200 something k's from here, so it works quite well. Alright, better pass it back before I time out. VK4NGA in the group, VK5TRM.
VK5TRM and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks to Rob. Yeah, the good old diamonds. They're going to get a few mentions tonight, that's for sure. I already have, even on Ham Live. Okay, on the weather, yeah. Sorry we sent you our weather. Goodness me. That was a bad move. It was supposed to go down to VK3. I don't know, we messed that up badly. Well, the weather here, just to diversify the conversation just slightly, there's been rain. We're having our seasonal rain. Actually, last Friday night, I think. Oh no, 2 Fridays ago, that's right. Yeah, well, I had no internet because, courtesy of Starlink. We figured it all out, actually. And that's a story for another time. It's all working well now. Yeah, so, the hot muggy weather, you better lick a stamp and send that back to us, say return to sender. It's been, heavy rain here today, and I was out in the car this morning, and it got so heavy. I was actually talking on the radio at the time. I was talking to Brendan 3BKL on the VK 3 RBA linked repeater system. I'll just reset. And I was also talking to Tom, VK3FTOM as well, and yeah, it was got that heavy. I had to slow down to about 55 k's now, and it was like zero visibility. So it was, yeah, I had to get off the radio and actually fully concentrate on just seeing my way through the sheets of rain. So anyway, that's not what tonight's net's about, though. Thanks very much, there, Rob. All right, before we bring our next station in, which is Jeff, AB6MB, I'm just going to pop the net into neutral, as we say, the Ozzy Pub, and we'll see if anybody else wants to check in, seeing as how we've only been going a short time. And it's time for net control change, so before we change net control, over to Brent, VK4BNT, just see if there's anybody wanting to check in. Now'd be the time to push the button. You got Glenn, VK4NGA, net control for the next 30 seconds.
Okay, to the MG Michael, portable.
Okay, we've added to the list Michael, VK2BMG, you're on the list. Alright, I'm going to now, the net's still in neutral. We're changing net controllers right now, so it's going to be over to Brent, VK4BNT, for the next half hour, or however long he can do it. He might get called away, little children going to bed and all that sort of dad chores that you got to do. So thanks for taking it, Brent. Over to you for the next stint of net control, and I'll go and have something to eat. I'll place an order at the pub. VK4BNT to take it, VK4NGA. Thank you, Brent.
Yeah, VK4NGA, VK4BNT. Taking the net control position for the next half hour, or as Glenn said, until the kids come upstairs ready for bed. But Michael did say that he was portable, so I'll give Michael a quick call in now. Tell us what your preferred VHF antenna system is. VK2 Bravo Mike Golf portable. This is VK4BNT.
VK4BNT, VK2BMG. I'll take my turn as on the list. I'm just not at home. I'm down South Coast at my dad's place. We're doing some things down here and doing some caring. So back to you, VK4BNT, VK2BMG, giving me a chance to see what's been mentioned before on the chat.
Yeah, QSL there, Michael. All noted on that one. So next up, we've got Jeff, AB6MB. What's your preferred VHF antenna?
Good evening, everyone. It's Jeff, AB6MB on the San Francisco Bay. Preferred antenna is a J-pole, a raw J-pole or something thereabouts, and that's been my go-to antenna. Really, I never mounted an external antenna on my house for VHF or UHF. I did for HF, but right now I just have J-poles, roll-up kinds, and cause I live in a senior center in an apartment, so it's not much in the way of any place I can really put up an antenna. Anyway, excuse me. And I pretty much hear everything out here. I can work them locally, so that's pretty good. Anyway, it's really good to hear everybody out here tonight. We've been sunny here, and about 15 degrees Celsius. So there's some pretty nice days, and no rain. We got a little bit supposed to come in here, and well, no, it actually says no rain. So it looks like we're going to just have nice weather for a while. Anyway, good to hear everybody, and so I'll turn it back to the net. I'm not sure if I'll make it the second round, but I'll give it a try. So back to net, AB6MB.
Yeah, AB6MB. This is VK4BNT. You'll have to drop a photo of your antenna in the ham live chat there. I'm curious. I have recently seen a few videos on the Farah J, which uses the Faraday type cloth, the kind of the copper foil type tape in a cloth roll. And yeah, it's a J-pole style antenna, so I wonder if it's similar. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty neat idea, particularly for portable operations, I guess, because it rolls up nice and small. But yeah, it's interesting there. If you've got a photo, I'd like to see it. Anyway, next up we've got Isaac. I'm sure you've got a few VHF antennas set up at home. What kind of, what's your preferred method there? A VK4IKZ, this is VK4BNT. VK4BNT, VK4IKZ returning. Yeah, no worries. Brent, thanks for doing it. And yeah, well, with the topic of discussion tonight with 2-meter antennas, well, the vertical that I've got is the Diamond X200A. So does 270. I haven't used it for a while. I've got to lower the tower down. The SWR has gone up on 2 meters. So it's still, so I've got to pull it apart and give it a clean. But that's the base antenna that I've got. But I've sort of just been using I've got another vertical for 2 and 70 on the tower as well. I've just been using that, and as well as the 4-element quad, which is on the roof, that does 2 meters and 2 and 70 as well. So I've got a bit of a collection. But I must say, out of all the antennas, the Diamond X200A is really good because it gives you that all-around coverage. Even the quad, it's good in one direction, but for general repeater use and getting into different repeaters, the Diamond X200A is such a good antenna. When it's working, so I've got to pull mine down and give it a clean, but yeah, such a good antenna. Anyway, there you go, that's my thing with antennas. So yeah, but it's Friday, I made it. So, and you can probably hear Gardening Australia going off in the background there as well, so that's a few different things going on here in the house. VK4BNT, VK4IKZ. Yeah, VK4IKZ, this is VK4BNT. Returning. The Diamond is definitely getting a good shout out. I think the X300 was made and mentioned a few times, and you're bringing up the X200A. I'm not familiar enough with my antennas to know the difference between the two, but Diamond in general is certainly being the shout out tonight. So yeah, I guess I know if I'm wanting something a little bit more permanent. That seems to be the trend. Anyway, we'll be curious to see what Mark's running. We've got VK3 MGF up next. What do you use for your 2-meter VHF antenna? This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
VK4BNT and the Ozzy Pub Net. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all. Great to hear you there, Brent, and thank you very much for filling in for the moment. And good evening to all the other stations that will be involved. Yes, well, I have to say diamonds are forever. Yep. Started off with the X50, had that up in the air. It's been up in the air for a good, how would we say, 8-9 years, if not more. It's been down once for a bit of a clean, a bit of a polish, and yeah, it was unfortunate, but given time, just in recent times, it's had a bit of a chew, you might say, with those sulphur-crested things that fly around. Otherwise, that's sort of used for the local stuff, but for that extra distance, we've got the 200, not the A, but 200. So, yeah, quite impressed with that. That's working well, or has been working well, is working well. Yeah, I'll keep it short so we won't waffle on, but yeah, got a few out there to get through tonight, but in the distance I want to put a few little shots up there of our excitable electrical storms that are passing through, that are in the distance, but yeah, quite a humid one here again tonight, which is effectively the last day of summer for those that are OS. VK4BNT and the group VK3 MGF.
Yeah, VK3 MGF, this is VK4BNT. Yeah, I don't think we've got too much in the way of electrical activity at the moment. We certainly do have a bit of rain for the southeast Queensland at the moment. I'm located in Nambour as well, and I think I saw earlier today the local Woolies, which is pretty notorious for having their car park flooded. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be underwater at the moment. Yeah, if not already soon. So yeah, we've got a few low-lying areas here, so we'll see how things pan out. But we should be pretty safe where I am at the moment. But yeah, looking at the map, there's quite a bit of rain all over the country at the moment. But yeah, thanks Mark for your comment there, and yeah, I do like your comment there about diamonds are forever. Yeah, it seems to be the standout gold choice at the moment. We'll see what Dale is running, VK7 Delta Golf and VK7 DG. This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
Yeah, VK4BNT, VK7 DG. Good evening, everyone. And I think you're expecting me to come up with the diamond. Yes, I am. I'm running an X510. It only gets used on occasions, but I generally use All-Star or equally. So we can put it down. Anyway, but I do have a 5-element 2-meter Yagi, which is 5 element, like it's basically 10 elements slapped, which has got a full-wave fed element in the middle, in the feed point, which is interesting. It appeared in RSGB handbook quite a number of years ago, so I think it was in the late 60s. So I brought that up
around about 1990, 1997, at the time in that period. And it works extremely well. I used to work the repeaters in the north end of the state, no problem at all. Well, I built it for packets. It certainly performed on that. Anyway, okay, back to you. VK4BNT, VK7DG.
Yeah, VK7DG. This is VK4BNT. Thinking back on it, I should have been tracking all of these responses like I did last week with the manual or automatic, because it would have been nice to see the trend, but obviously I don't need to track it to know that diamond is the answer. And next up we've got Darren, which Darren has been sharing some photos in Ham Live on what he's currently using. So it's definitely a good reminder that if you're not on Ham Live, you're missing half of the net, because there's some nice photos being posted up there. Anyway, tell the group, Darren, some of the photos that you've been posting up and what antenna systems that you're using. VK4GEO. This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
VK4BNT in the group, VK4GEO returning. Bit of a collection there. Currently up in the air I have got two 34, 35-year-old Mobile 1. They were marketed as repeater antennas back in the day, but they were CDB146. I've got two of them. One on the roof of my house and one at the office that's running an iGate permanently. I also have an X200 up on the same mast, just for my normal day-to-day 2 metre and 70 centimetre antenna. But the X300 is my favourite. If I buy any more, that'll be the next one to go. There's also a photo there. I've got an old 7-element Yagi that had a little bit of a drama with a tree quite some time back, and I've just about got it finished. But it's a really old design. It's got 4 driven elements, and they're cross-polarised at the feed point. So that's a very interesting one. Sadly, in the picture of the old antenna, I'll just drop out for a second. 2 or 3 days ago it came down in a big storm we had here. So I'm currently in discussions with the manufacturer to get some more fiberglass spreaders for it. So hopefully we can do that and get it back up in the air, but at the moment I'm HF-less. That's about it for me. We've had 26 mil of rain since the net started, so it's been a fun evening. And yeah, that's it for me. VK4BNT in the group, VK4GEO.
Yeah, VK4GEO. This is VK4BNT. Yeah, no, it's quite a lineup there, and yeah, certainly appreciated the photos and the description that went along with them. Sorry to hear about your issues there with HF. I'm looking to get something set up myself at the moment. Still not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I've got like a 10-meter spider beam mast, and I've got some wire. So looking at potentially doing a wire antenna, but ultimately it needs to be renter-friendly and in a position that the kids aren't going to trip over. So that will be well, I was hoping to be this weekend, but with the weather, maybe not. But yeah, no, thanks there, Darren, for your comments and photos. Next up we have Ross, VK7WB. What 2-meter antenna systems are you currently using? This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
Yeah, VK7WP returning. Yeah, good evening, Brent, and everybody else on the net. And very good photos of Darren. I was just having a look at them there on Ham Live. Very, very good setup there, Darren. Yeah, well, I haven't got a lot these days there, Brent, but I have got I've got a diamond dual band up there, vertical. It's 2 metres and 70 centimetres. Also got a, I think it's about a 12 element beam for 70 centimetres I do use, and also a 6 metre antenna. But I have got a 2 metre 7 element in the garage. I've never ever, well, I won't get it up now because of my problems, but and I also got a, I think it's about a 26 element 70 centimetre beam. 80 the two beams are, so, and the diamond is the vertical. But they all work well. So, but I don't think I'll get the other two up. They've been in the shed there. I've been here at this house here for 14 years, and I won't get them up now, that's for sure. But I had them up at our other QTH, which they work very well then. But very interesting tonight, and I always enjoy listening there. So with that, I will put it back to you, Brent, but I must say I will not be around for the second round, if you might jot that down. But thanks, Brent. Always good to hear you. Back to you, VK4BNT, VK7WP. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, VK7WP, VK4BNT returning. Yeah, noted there on not being there for the second round, but that's all good. The net can certainly run a bit long, but certainly appreciate you joining us tonight. And yeah, another vote for the diamond. It's yeah, definitely shaping out to be pretty popular. And we've got some more photos going up of another X200 from Michael. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting looking photo. I'll have to click it and enlarge it because it looks like it's got some sort of interesting mounting system on there as well. But before we go on to the next station and potentially hand over net control, I might just put in neutral, as we say, and see if anyone else would like to join the net tonight. If you'd like to join in on the Ozzy Pub Net tonight, please go ahead with your call sign. Yeah, nothing heard there, which is all good. We tend to get all of our check-ins right on the other side of the net, and we get a few latecomers as we come along. But next up for the net, we have Wayne, VK3VPI. What antenna solutions are you using at the moment there, Wayne? This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
BNT, VK3, yeah, you got quite a few antennas actually up and running out in your home base. The main one we do use is actually on the roof of my unit. It's actually a Diamond X200, that's 270. I've also got another one with a large hole, I can't pronounce the name, but also is 270. also got a V6000 that's also on the glass wall, about 4 feet apart going to the other side, and that actually does 6, 2 and 70. But the one I do like using the most one if I can is the X1000. That's actually a type ender, 6, 2, and I think you can 7, 2 and 23. The mobile antenna is one's a dual and the other one's a quad. I will repeat that. The other antenna from the car is a quad. It does 6, 2, 10, 6, 2 and 70.
Yeah, VK3 VBI, VK4 BNT. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I've heard of a few people running quad band antennas and the radios to run them. At the moment, I'm still lacking standard to be able to run 6 meters, but certainly interested to play with that soon enough. I'm certainly keen on upgrading soon. I just need to dedicate some time to study and make sure that I can sit the test once and get it all done in one go without having to retest. But thank you there, Wayne, for your comments and your antenna solutions. But we have just about hit 8 o'clock, so before we call in the next station, I might hand off to Glenn, and he can take over for another 30 minutes. VK4NGA, if you're available there. This is VK4BNT.
Yeah, VK4BNT, Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA, back on net control duty. Thanks very much, Brent, for doing that half hour. And speaking of net control, if you want to have a go, I'm not talking to Brent now, I'm talking to everybody else. If you want to have a crack at net control, you don't have to be part of the admin team, you just have to let us know. Either beforehand or on the night or on the fly. You really only need 2 things. Dedicate half an hour, that's the stint, 30 minutes, and you need ham live running, just so you can follow in that order. That's it. So if you want to have a go at net control, either as a one-off or as a regular, be our guest, let us know. Yeah, thanks very much there, Brent. Appreciate having rotating net controllers. It sort of makes the night, what would you say, how would you say it? Sort of just changes it up a bit, I think. But from a net control point of view, it gives us a chance to have a bit of a break, and I went and had something to eat and all that sort of stuff. So that's good. Yeah, the diamond antennas are very popular, that's for sure. I must admit though, I'll just reset. I must admit though, I do have a foot in the other door with a Chinese copy of the diamond. So the one that I put this one up just before Christmas. It's a VKD 200 from VK Direct. Shamelessly plugging VK Direct there, but they're very well priced and they are really good quality, surprisingly good. So it's up in a lower position than the X300, but it performs really well where it is. So it gets into a lot of repeaters. So that's a good one as well. Here at the Woodford property, we set up. It's about 6 metres, probably 6 metres off the, probably 7 metres off the ground. The house has got a fairly high roof. It's an old Queenslander, giant old Queenslander that's on low stumps, but the block is sloping. And I had an X30 forever, so I brought it out here. We set that up, and although we use that on UHF-CB, although the SWR is not great, but it's not that bad. And then we also have a private channel that we use for local comms for myself and my son and grandkids as well. So yeah, it works really well. Height is might. So there you go. Anyway, there's more stories along in the antenna lines, no doubt, to come throughout the night. Speaking of that, let's move along. We'll put the net back in gear again, and we'll put the pedal to the metal, and we'll get through the list. So next up is Richard, VK2VRJ. Richard, you've probably got a few antennas, I reckon. Over to you there, Richard, for the Ozzy Pub Net. Go ahead.
VK4NGA, VK2VRJ returning. Oh, I'm quite tired here tonight, Friday night. Look, I haven't got that many up in the air, but I kind of swap around a bit and experiment a bit. Yeah, I don't really have all that many sort of permanently up there. I've got my the X510, which replaced the X5000, which is, almost like 3 times as long as what the X5000 was. And that's currently set up as my node, high-powered node antenna. And it's quite amazing how far that thing gets compared to the other antenna. I think it's around 5 metres versus 1.8 metres for the one I had up before. Yeah, that definitely gets a good distance. Sort of being up on a little bit of a hill helps too. Yeah, so that's what I'm using for 2 metres, 70 centimetres, all that at the moment, and I've just got it on a switch, so if I want to use the other radio, I just flick it over, and yeah, so but eventually I'm currently looking at building a side bracket off the pole to put the other antenna on, the X5000 back up again, and then I won't have to sort of switch. I can leave one for each radio, or one for the node and one for my ICOM 2 and 70 radio. And yeah, so I think that's my go-to at the moment. But the first reasonable sort of 2 metre antenna I built was the good old half-inch. Got to increase the timeout on this handheld. Yeah, it was the old half-inch copper tube J-pole with the soldered angle fittings and all that, which copied the design off the interweb. And that's a pretty good antenna. It's just down the side of the house at the moment. And also made one for 70 centimetres as well, a nice little cute one. And they both work pretty good. Although the 70 centimetre one was very fiddly to tune to get where I wanted it to. But eventually got there, moving sort of millimetres at a time. Anyway, yeah, back to you, Glenn. VK4NGA, VK2VRJ.
VK2VRJ and Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks, Richard. Oh, well, that's a bit of a rundown on some good hardware up in the sky. Yeah, I tend to do the same thing, change things around a bit. Although the X300's been where it is since 2018, so that gives you an idea of how long they last. Although, being at BWAR and also having stuff out here at Woodford, which is further west, you do notice a difference. The corrosion's not so bad. When I was at Caloundra, everything just was always salty. You're pretty close to the water. Doesn't matter where you are, and yeah, everything, even the finest of metals, are put to the test. So yeah, but the dual band diamonds. I tell you, when I came back to the hobby, I hadn't. Because I just didn't even know what was available, really, when I came back to the hobby like 11 years ago. And my first antenna. Was a Diamond X50, and I couldn't believe how good a quality it was and how well it performed. And then, as Richard pointed out, my high-powered node's turned off at the moment, but it ran for over a year, plugged into the X300, and as Richard mentioned, the footprint was absolutely amazing. And the radio's running 20 watts, and it had good ears as well. You could get into it from a handheld out in the forestry, and you could hear it pretty good. It was certainly a great antenna. So, yeah, they get my vote. That type of antenna, they really do perform well. My first proper. I'll just reset. When I first got licensed, I was really fascinated. Always had a fascination with 2 meters, particularly with repeaters. I just thought that was just so good. And so I bought an IC25A from a club member on the Sunshine Coast, and I stuck that in the car, and I bought a Scalar 5/8 ground plane whip, 5/8 wave, so bottom loaded. And that was just a ripper antenna. That really worked well. Before that, I just had this cut down quarter wave. It was cut down from something, probably a commercial type antenna. Had that on the boot of my car. The car was a massive car. It was a 1965 Chev. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been close to Chevs from the 60s, but four-door sedan, like the boot. The antenna was just behind the back window on the edge of the boot, and honestly, that was the best mobile ground plane you could ever have. It was just amazing. You can't beat metal. Anyway, that was my first foray into 2 meters, and I just loved it. It was great fun, nice clear communications, much like All-Star. So yeah, anyway. Enough from me. All right, thanks very much, Sir Richard. Next up on the list is Ian, VK2HAO. You got a favourite there, Ian? You do for the Ozzy Pub Net.
So they're Glenn, VK4 NGO, VK2 HAO, and also good evening to Richard there. Yeah, well, my wet piece of string works rather well actually, but no, seriously. Yeah, I just use a GP1. Got it when I first started in amateur radio and been using it ever since. Haven't had any problems with it yet, touch wood. But yeah, I wouldn't mind upgrading it at some stage, but yeah, that's why I'm sort of listening to everyone's choices of the diamonds and so on. So yeah, I mean, eventually it's going to fail on me, and if I've got something in mind, I'll grab a chance to get it. But yeah, pure and simple, I suppose. The HF antenna, that's a 6BTV, the 6-band vertical. Not 100% happy with it, but it is at ground level and surrounded by fences and buildings. So yeah, they could probably be raised up a little bit. Yeah, so before I time out, VK4 NGO, VK2 HAO.
VK2HAO and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 NGO returning. Thanks, Ian. Before I respond to your over, I'll just say good night to Jeff, AB6MB in San Francisco. He's going to hit the bed, so thanks for joining in, Jeff. Always lovely to have you along, representing San Francisco. Yeah, thanks, Ian. Yeah. I think you mentioned the Comet. Yeah, so I think they've got a lot of similarities to. Is it the Comet? Yeah, I think it's got some similarities to the diamond type antennas. So I remember looking at those. I was offered one second hand, but I didn't really need it, so I passed on it. But I remember looking up the specs and I thought, gosh, they just look so similar. All right. Next up is Ryan, VK4DAT. So Ryan, what kind of VHF hardware is your favourite? Over to you, VK4DAT and Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA. Go ahead.
VK4 NGA, VK4DAT in the group. Just one round tonight, please, Glenn. I've got an X250, an X50, and an X30 on the roof. But I thought I'd go in a different direction. I'll talk about the signal stick that I've got on my handheld radio. I've actually got two of them. They're a antenna made in America from the Hand Study group over there makes them. They're a basically indestructible antenna. It's better than the store-bought antenna, basically, like that comes with the radio. They're made by Ham Radio Enthusiast in America, and they're really good. Lot better performance on the radio, handheld radio, than the stock standard ones. But other than that, it's pretty good. They're really good. We've had some 50 mil today of rain, and I've got the record for this year since 1931 of rain. We've had 493 mil so far this month. So that's a record since 1931, But the signal stick, it's pretty good for your handhelds. Going down a different track from everybody else at the moment. But the X200 works well. The X50 works well. And if anybody's interested, the signal stick's pretty good for your handhelds. If you want to get a bit more signal out there and a bit more receive. Other than that, VK4 NGA, VK4 DAT. Over to you.
VK4 DAT and Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 NGA returning. Thanks there, Ryan. And all noted on the no round 2 for you. We'll sort that out. Thanks for that. The signal stick, hey? I've heard of those, I'll have to look that up. Interesting. Antenna design as a whole has just come so far since I started in the hobby back in the late 70s. It's just, everything is so different. It's amazing. Really amazing antennas. I'm not one for making antennas anymore. I'm not inclined that way anymore to cut aluminium up and all that sort of stuff. I did have a crack at making antennas early in the piece, but when I say I had a crack at it, that was not a very good, solid go, really. I made a couple of mobile whips. I remember I made a 15-metre mobile whip. I know we're talking about VHF, but I did that, and I think I made one for another person, and mostly I just had to buy them and put them together and put them up. I don't even enjoy that. In fact, I was working this afternoon out there, and it was trying to rain on me, and I just give up. So yes, it's something that I'm good at buying them. not very good at putting them up. You get them and unpack them and you think, oh, it'd just be nice if that thing was just already up on the roof and all cabled up and all the cables were sealed and it was done. Hey, thanks everyone. Good to hear another representative from the north. All right, what are we up to? Okay, I'm just going to pop the proceedings, pop the net neutral again. We'll see if there's anybody on the side that wants to join us. Now would be the time. There you go, Green VK4NGA. Any other check-ins? Please go to course line now.
Victor, Kilo 4, Kilo Uniform.
Oh, there you go. We've caught up with Ray. G'day, Ray. VK4KU. Nice to hear you. Sounding good. All right. There's only a couple of stations before you there, Ray. So sit tight and you'll get an over. Tonight's topic is all about VHF antennas, 2-metre antennas. All right. Next on the list is Roderick, VK2 Charlie Golf. Over to you there, Roderick, for the Ozzy Pub Net. Go ahead. VK2CG, are you still with us or over? Okay, from Roderick. So I'll move down the list to Ben, VK4YT. Over you there, Ben. Tell us about 2-metre antennas, past, present and future. VK4YT in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks there, Glenn. VK4NGA and the Ozzy Pub Net group, VK4YT. Yeah, very good evening to you and Brent and all of the rest of the admin and the behind-the-scenes team, as well as everyone else who's joined the net this evening. Good to be back on for another week. So yeah, not Maritime Mobile this evening. Yeah, very definitely hiding in the shack in the cool. It's been quite hot and humid up here in the tropical north. So yeah, did a little bit of lawn mowing this afternoon, which certainly raised a sweat, which I've had to refresh with some beverages. So yeah, VHF antennas. So currently coming to you via a Diamond X50. I think it's just the X50. I don't think it's the A version, and I'm pretty confident it's not the N version, because I'm fairly sure it's got the UHF connector up the bum of it there. So yeah, and that's mounted on a galvanised pipe that I actually made from a bit of scrap that I salvaged from the bin at work. And yeah, designed to bolt down onto a standard 22-degree pitch corrugated iron roof. So I had it on the roof of the house when I lived in Mossman, and couldn't stand to leave it there because the people who bought the house didn't know or want to know anything about radio or antennas. So yeah, off it came, and down to here it ventured. So yeah, currently mounted on the pool fence. With the supporting arm thing going over into the top of an old cycad that we cut down. But hey, if it looks silly but it works, it's not silly. It certainly gets out, certainly works. It's not a DX monster, but it's a VHF UHF antenna, so it's not supposed to be. So yeah, had some roof work done yesterday. So yeah, basically in the semi to near future, that will go up on the roof of the house, so that I can then run the hefty bit of coax down into the shack. So yeah, actually picked it up off Marketplace quite a number of years ago now for $50. So yeah, $50 for a second-hand antenna. It was full green and covered in moss and mould and whatever. But the selling point, at least at the time, not that I've actually used it, was the 8 or so metre length of LDF 550 hardline that came with it. So yeah, I thought that was what I wanted, but turns out the antenna that they chucked in was the thing that I've actually got all of the use out of. So yeah, I have still the hardline in the shed, and maybe that will get use in the new installation here. So the other VHF antenna that I do have is a 12-element beam. It's a Werner Wolf Yagi with a Gemma match feed. And yeah, it was tuned, although I was just in the backyard, standing basically up on its end on a timber table when I tuned it, because I didn't have a mast or anything to actually put it up in the sky. But yeah, I'm sure if I did put it up on something, it would be pretty close. Maybe need a little bit of an adjustment, just depending on the situation. So yeah, hoping to get something in the air to mount that on soon, but I guess we'll see. There's, I guess other, and yeah, I have a few other HF Yagis and a Diamond CP6 as well that I picked up with a extendable mast, a Clark mast, only a few weeks ago actually. So yeah, but no, otherwise, yeah, dual band antennas for the vehicle, also Diamonds, NH, NR, and something 770, and a SG7900, a SG7500, and I'm sure I have others there that I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, Diamond certainly copping a hiding this evening. So yeah, they make a good antenna, so that's why everyone has one, and also can second the signal stuff, HT antennas. So I have one of those. And yeah, when it was shipped to me, it was actually knotted up into a granny knot, so it would fit in the little postage bag. And yeah, you take it out and undo it, and all of a sudden it springs back to life. So yeah, cannot fault it. So I got the glow in the dark one, which makes it interesting when you're tromping around outside at night, chasing satellites or whatever. You can see the antenna. So yeah. Alright, that's probably about all. I need to go and get another refreshing beverage. So back to you there, Glenn. VK4NGA and the Ozzy Pub Net group, VK4YT.
VK4YT and Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGA returning. Thanks there, Ben. That was quite the rundown tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff you went through there. You mentioned something, I didn't write it down. I'll think of it later on. I was thinking about all sorts of things while you were talking about, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, that's good. That sounds good. Yeah. Got to write things down more often. Yeah, $25 for the signal stick, or 29 for the glow in the dark. Yeah, it's pretty good. A lot of info getting shared on Ham Live, so, but I can see most of us are on Ham Live, so yeah. Actually, the list is shrunk a little. There's a few people that have already checked out during the overs, so we had Richard, VK2 VRJ, said 73, Ian, VK2HAO, said 73, Craig, VK4AHC, that's a while back now, Craig said 73, he had I think a work emergency happening. Yeah, so those stations have already checked out of the net. Alright, just gathering my thoughts here on Ham Live. What time is it? 8:27, is it? Yep, get close enough to see that. Alright, we've got 2 stations left for the topic round. Next up is Michael, VK2 BMG. Over to you there, Michael.
Thank you. Net Control, VK for NGA, VK to Bravo Night Golf from Portable down at Verona. I've done a bit of playing around and used some different antennas on VHF. I was playing a little bit back in 77, licensed. I had 6 and 2 meters. Started off with a quarter wave made out of 6mm quarter-inch aluminium rod on the roof of a flat roof of above the room and the extension. I decided, I think I can do better than that. I just joined it with 10mm lengths, threaded, knotted together to make a 5/8, and that worked reasonably well on 6 meters. I think I had to use a bit of conduit to keep it upright. I used some nylon guys and some conduit to keep it upright, otherwise it sagged. It's flying weight. 2 meters I made up which I'm pretty proud of at the time, and still am. Extended double zip vertical, which is 0.64 wavelength over 0.64 wavelength for the phasing stub. And I filled that with quarter wave match, and filled it with 67 and a 41 band, coax band made from the 67, and that worked extremely well for the rest of the time I was living at home. Eventually I had to come down. It was supported on various pieces of what do you call it? A roller blind, an old circus tent pole, and another boom type handle along the handle. But since then, it was mostly mobile 5/8 or 7/8 wave, and the bit of a big rig mount like you had. I just reset. I think I'm there. Can you confirm, please?
All good, Michael. Keep going.
Yeah, there's a 5/8 or 7/8 wave on the front edge of the board of the 180B and the corner of the board on the board sedan. I also went to cut a mount on using the same antennas on the Skyline wagon, a guard mount, and a rail mount for on the V2 wagon. I currently use either a 7900 or 7500 on a guard bracket, mount bracket on the elbow end, and I was posted on the chat X510 used for 2 meters, and the MX200 on for 70 centimeters. Slightly better performance from the distance of having to cover Rapid Sydney for using the X200. I think if I telescopic mast from JCAR. Our head strapped to the cable tied to the railing and the back veranda here. So what else have I got? Yeah, I've got some links of LMR 400, LDF 450, I think about 4 links, and 550, about 20 metres of that, at the right price. Some for help and some for the odds, some given to me. So hopefully I'll be able to use all that, or most of it. I've got a bolt together 7.5 metre 2-piece tower, which will take a rotator. So I'm looking to try and get some Yogis up on that. So I'm thinking cross Yogi or separately switchable with some relays up the masthead relays for those 72 metres and possibly 70 centimetres to go with the Icon 910 that I've got. Really quite sensitive, that is. Reset again. So on the HF, but I've been using a bit of A40 and 80 and down here. Put a 6 metre mobile whip on the roof of the house or veranda, but not very effective. And we only got a quarter here and 2 metres, nothing on 70 centimetres is okay to RFS and its network. So all of this comes down on Sunday, or very early Monday, and I'll be heading back home. So, what else? Yeah, I think I'd file the next 300 over the next 510, but it only cost me $100. And no one bought it because it was, the 3 sections were glued together. So I ended up using the Pantech truck, just fitting it in, bottom left, the top right, while we're moving stuff. Okay, for CGA, net control BNT. Okay, 2 to 4 BNT. Okay, 2 BNG. VK2 BNG and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 NGO returning. Thanks there, Michael. That was quite the list. I certainly didn't write all that down. That would have filled the page. Well done. Yeah, that's you covered a lot of different varieties there. That's very good. I just put that up on Ham Life. In fact, I put it up twice. Sorry, guys. Just my little Corolla that I've acquired, and it's got an Ozzy Pub Net sticker on the back. So yeah, thanks very much, Michael. Always nice to have you along. We are going to put the net in neutral and swap net controllers. And, Brenda's going to take over for the next half hour. If you do want an Aussie Pub Net sticker, although in that photo on Ham Live you see it's rounded corners, not very well done. You can see I've been at it with the scissors. Those stickers are supplied by Al, VK for AVN. If you want an Aussie Pub Net sticker, you got to buy them. They're not free, and I've got some of them here, so I can send you one in the post. So just probably best to either send me a message on Messenger or via email. My email address is on my QRZ, so it's still good if you don't have it, and I can organise you. There's a limited number of stickers in stock, but and I'll let you know. I think they're going to work out about $6 posted, so I'll confirm that. Anyway, sorry, just getting totally sidetracked as I do. But yeah, I put that photo up. It's not very good. I'll just reset.
a very good photo of the antenna, but there's a Diamond 770 HB on the front of the car. So that's the 270 antenna. And that antenna's over 10 years old. Hasn't had a lot of use, mind you, but still, it's a testament to the product. All right, last person on our list for round one is Ray, VK4KU. Over to you there, Ray, for the Ozzy Pub Net. Go ahead.
VK4KU, VK4KU, group and listeners. I've been using a Diamond antenna. I wasn't the dearest one at the time. I was the second one. And it's probably been on the mast for, I'm guessing, 25 years. And was still working this morning when I went on the net. So I'm very satisfied with it. It's only pegged with 213, but seems to do the job. And that's cables as old as the antenna. So there you go. Speaking of handheld before, I have got a signal stick and it does a good job. But I do have an antenna which receives much better than it. And not for sort of $50 US to get something from the States. It's an RH770, I think, telescopic antenna. I use it mainly on 2 metres. Telescopic, it's probably about 1 metre long, which with a handheld puts a bit of pressure on depending on the handheld, so you've got to keep it up reasonably straight. But it works where no other antenna will access the repeater. I put it on and it'll pick them up. I'm pleased with that. And it was about probably $20, which is probably a third of the price or quarter of the price of a signal stick. But yeah, I'm happy with the Diamond 2 metre and it's working well. So there you are. All right, I think it might be Brent's turn. We might have got really clean. I mean, we might have changed operators. 4KU, good evening.
I forgot to switch to the controllers, so thanks Brent. Take it away, VK4BNT, go ahead.
Yeah, VK4KU, this is VK4BNT, and VK4NGA. I'll take over the stint for the 73 round, or half an hour, whichever comes first. I can attest to the quality of Ray's antenna. If that's what he comes in every day on the Good Morning Net, it's certainly working well. Next, that is the end of the list. So I will just do a quick pause before we move on to the 73 round to see if there's any other late check-ins who would like to join the net. Please go ahead with your call sign.
VCO, VK2, Victor Charlie Oscar.
Sorry, I missed the prefix there, but it was Victor Charlie Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. VCO. Please go ahead. The mic is yours.
Yeah, thanks. It's VK2, Victor Charlie Oscar. The name is Jason in North Sydney. I just happened to stumble across this net scanning on my VHF Anytone that's connected to a dipole, a vertical dipole. It sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure the format. It sounds like it's almost like a pub quiz and you have to talk about antennas, so I can tell you that I have an assortment outside, not many. I'm trying to build up to some decent ones. I've basically got dipoles for 40 meters. For SDR and for transceiver, and then I've got the 2 meter. I also had a double cross dipole for a Meteosat broadcast, but the cockatoo sat on it, and try as I may, I couldn't maintain it against them. Now I've just got a single dipole up there. Yeah, back to the net controller. I hope that's enough.
Yeah, VK2 VCO. This is VK4BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net. I know a friend who had a run-in with a possum and a Yagi antenna, that didn't pan out too well either. But no, it's good to have you on there, Jason. We run this net every Friday night, the Ozzy Pub Net. In 2 rounds. The first round is the topic round, which for this particular week is VHF antenna systems and your preferred methods. And then we alternate each week. Our end being the second round, which we're about to move to, is the 73 round. But given that this is a tech night, the following week will be a fun night, which currently on the cards will be bush or beach, which is your preferred holiday options. I think this is fairly unique, at least from the nets that I've attended, where they alternate between the tech night and the fun night. We usually go for about 2 to 3 hours and get anywhere from about 30 to 40 check-ins each night as well. So it's a very fun night. It starts at 8 p.m. For yourself, 7 p.m. for Queensland during the daylight saving time, and then when we go into standard time, it'll be 8 p.m. for Queensland as well. Definitely thanks for joining us, Jason. But I will do another quick pause to see if there's any other further check-ins. Otherwise, we'll move on to our 73 round. Please go ahead with your call sign. This is VK4BNT. Nothing goes there. 8:45. So, been a pretty good round one. We'll go into the 73 round now. And it looks like Glenn has skipped himself. So we'll move on for now and call in Robert. VK2DY. This is VK4BNT for the 73 round of the Ozzy Pub Net. VK2DY, are you still with us? This is VK4BNT.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. VK2DY back here. Thank you very much for a wonderful match, and we'll catch you next week. 73, VK2DY.
Yeah, 73 there, Robert. And thanks again, as usual, for what you and the team do for the Ansel network and bringing them to the PubNet. This is VK4BNT returning. Looks like my HT went flat. But next up we've got Alan. VK4AVN for the Ozzy Pub Net 73 round. This is VK4BNT.
VK4BNT in the Aussie Pub Net. This is VK4AVN returning. Okay, Brent, here you go, mate. Not a bad topic tonight. Very interesting. I am very interested in those aerials for the handheld. What are they called? The signal sticks. Yeah, I reckon they'll be pretty good. Pretty hard to get hold of though, because just had a look at their website, and yeah, they said that like it might take forever to get here, and like everything's up to the purchaser to organise all of the taxes and the this and the that goes along with it all. But anyway, we'll see how we go with all of that. Yeah, very, very interesting. VK4BNT in the Aussie Pub Net. This is VK4AVN saying 7-3, and I hope everyone has a good weekend. Bye for now.
VK4AVN. This is VK4BNT returning. Yeah, Alan, look, from what I've heard of those antennas, they're very highly rated. Obviously, there's a few good recommendations tonight as well. Obviously, I've mostly heard about them from the US market and YouTube and things like that. They're a super flexible antenna. And yeah, I'm particularly fond of the fact that they come in orange. I do like it orange, as well as glow in the dark. But yeah, if you're in the US market, $25 for an antenna is not too bad. But when you start doing the currency conversion and the shipping, it certainly starts to become a little bit unrealistic, at least for myself. But yeah, no, they certainly seem like a good antenna. But as always, it's nice to hear you on there, Alan. And 7-3, thanks for joining us. Next we've got Rob, VK5 TRM. This is VK4BNT. VK5 TRM. You see with us there, Rob. This is VK4BNT for the 73 round of the Ozzy Pub Net. Nothing heard there for Rob. I know Scott was cleaning up and getting packed up, but we'll give him a quick call, see if he's still there. Scott, VK4NUT, this is VK4BNT for the Aussie Pub Net, 73 round. You still there with us, Scott?
Yeah, VK4BNT in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NUT returning. Yeah, thanks there, Brent. Thanks to you and Glenn running the pub tonight. Yeah, a little bit snug here, but I'm doing it, and we'll soldier on. You'll have to start an Uber Eats delivery service or take up Uber taxi service there, Brent, to go and buy one of those specialised antennas for the HT. And while you're at it, you might pick up another battery as well, since you ran this one flat. You've got You got better audio on the radio you switched over to anyway, much stronger, so loud and clear. Thanks for running the net, your guys, much appreciated. Sorry I haven't been much help. And I'll say 7-3 to everyone, and Al and the rest of the Redcliffe North Brizzy boys and Sunshine Coast boys. I'll try and catch up with you when I get down there. VK4BNT in the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4 MUT at Calliope River.
VK4 in the UT, this is VK4BNT returning. Yeah, no, 7:30 there, mate, and all good. Hope the packing's going well, and safe travels for tomorrow. I believe tomorrow is a travel day for you. So, safe travels on the road, and yeah, hopefully there's no issues with traffic, because, you know, treat everyone as dangerous, because, you know, there's some crazy drivers out there. Then again, you are the Queensland notch, so who knows? You could be one of them. But no, thanks there, Scott, for checking in. It's good to have you on there. Next we've got Isaac, VK4 IKZ, but may have already disappeared given the time, but we'll see if he's still there. If you're with us, this is the 73 round of the Ozzy Pub Net. See VK4 BNT. Nothing heard there from Isaac, so that's all good. Next we have Mark, VK3 MGF. This is VK4 BNT for the Ozzy Pub Net.
VK4 BNT and the remaining group. Well, firstly, once again, thank you very much to you there, Brent, for finishing off doing the 7-3 round, and of course to Glenn, who I didn't really get a chance to chat to there, but it's been a fantastic night, and as I mentioned, yeah, it looks like diamonds are the go, and yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, just a thing, I just sort of, when it comes to timing and so on there with the devices, whatever the case may be, I did put a mention in there on Ham.Live, but maybe say it flows a little better. Well, just a thing that maybe management want to look at, just to all have one go and yeah, try and fit it all in. But yeah, as I said, just to keep it fair. Thanks very much again, and we'll hopefully catch you all next week. VK4 BNT and the group VK3 MGF.
Yeah, VK3 MGF. This is VK4 BNT returning. You're all noted there, Mark. Thanks for the 7-3 and the feedback there. We can certainly put it to the admins to discuss. But as always, it's nice to have you on. And yeah, definitely Diamonds was the winner there for tonight. So I might have to do some research on that myself, because yeah, I would like to get some a little bit more permanent set up at home. But I guess as I say, if it's working, don't fix what's broken, not broken. But thanks so much. Next we've got Dale, VK7DG, for the 73 round of the Ozzy Pub Net. This is VK4 BNT.
VK4
VK4BNT, VK7DG returning. Somebody might be trying to break in there. Anyway, I'll say a quick 7v3, so thanks guys for running the net, and much appreciated. And I'm sure everybody in the group agrees. And yeah, so it's 73s from me, and sunny downtown Glenorchy, Jersey, and 73s off the group. VK7DG clear. Cheers.
Yeah, VK7DG, this is VK4BNT. Yeah, thanks there, Dale, for joining us tonight. Just quickly swapping to my phone. Having some computer issues and it's all locked up on me. But yeah, thank you there, Dale. Next up we have Darren at VK4GEO. This is VK4BNT.
VK4BNT in the group, VK4GEO returning. Yep, thanks guys, great night. Had some great photos on the Ham Live and some great discussions, and learnt some stuff today, so very good. Thanks to Glenn and yourself for running it, and we'll catch you all again next Friday night. We'll do it all again. VK4BNT in the group, VK4GEO. Good night everyone.
Yeah, 73 there, Darren at VK4GEO. This is VK4BNT, returning. It hasn't quite been 30 minutes because it was a bit of a late on the handover, but it has just gone 9 o'clock there, so I'll hand over to Glenn, and he can do the last few stations and then do the official closing of the Ozzy Pub Net. But with that, I'll say my 7-3. As always, it's a treat to listen to all the stations that join us tonight. And it's certainly no net without all of you guys connecting in your hotspots and all the other repeaters that join us. So thanks everyone. It's been a good night. So 7-3 for now. And over to Glenn, VK4NGA. This is VK4BNT.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Brent, for chipping in on the net control tonight. It's really good when you've got more than one net controller. Makes the night flow very nicely. All right, yeah, as Brent said, we're close to the end anyway. There's a few more stations to go, and we are done for this Friday night. So moving down the list, next is Wayne, VK3VBI. Over to you there, Wayne, for the 7-3 round.
For NGA, VK4 review, my note is on actually to reset before actually transfer, which makes it understandable. There is one thing I will say with the antenna I mentioned in the first round, with me F6000, I do know it can do 23, but I can listen to it so long I don't talk. If I talk on it, I am toast. But with the other antenna, I'm actually, those 6 minutes, it's exactly the same thing. I can listen, but I can't talk on it. If I do, I'm toast.
VK3VBI, VK4NGA returning. Thanks there, Wayne. Yeah, okay on that one. Well, yeah, gotta be careful with this gear. Don't do anything that's going to cost money, that's for sure. Alright, moving down the list for the 7-3 round is Ben, VK4YT. Over to you there, Ben.
thanks there, Glenn. VK4NGA and the Ozzy Pub Net group, VK4YT. Yeah, the second round come round much more quicker than the first. So yeah, wasn't expecting that. I haven't been keeping an eye on the ham live as well as I probably should be. So yeah, but that's okay. All good. I reckon I'm not too far off of bed. It's been a long week. So yeah, an early night is in order, ready to tackle the weekend's projects. So yeah, all good there. Quite an interesting discussion about VHF antennas and all of the diamond antennas that everyone's running, as well as the small selection of other brands as well. So yeah, 73, and I'll talk to you all again this time next week. So back to you there, Glenn, VK4NGA, and the Ozzy Pub Net group, VK4YT.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Well, it's great to have you along, representing the north. We've got a few northern stations up there in the northern part of VK4. Actually, VK4 is quite well represented on the net tonight, that's for sure, as is VK3. Anyway, it's not a challenge. Pardon me, cane toads. Going to get off the cane toads. Next up is Michael, VK2 BMG for the 7-3 round. Go ahead.
Yeah, we go for NGA. Glenn, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for having me on the net. I mentioned on the chat, but I'll have to mention the X200 sitting on what I refer to as an IRSL, inverted rotary folding clothesline. We replace the clothesline. I thought, well, I sort of thrown out in the rubbish. There's square middle. I turn it upside down. I can mount the antenna and lift it up a bit, and I've got an extension, TV type antenna extension on it. I did have a down 23 centimetre single band vertical, and I tried the Diamond D3000 disc cam, and unfortunately I get good signal in the 2 meters into Sydney, but with the 23 centimetre vertical I can just get noisily the power repeater at Madden's Plunge, and it's only running 10 watts on that antenna, maybe 8, maybe 9. Anyway, the speaker's 10. Once when the band was open, only once, or I know of, I could hear Chetford's repeater, which is around about 90 kilometres away, but I couldn't get into it. I tried the Jury repeater, which is a really good further. I could get into it, but I couldn't hear it. So let's come down for another put, see, maybe use it for those or something. About 80 to 90 kilometres from sort of Chatswood to the middle of Sydney. I've got a very good takeoff to the north, not so great to the east and west, and even worse, even worse to the west and even worse again to the south. But at about 510 metres I seem to be doing pretty well. I get into mostly Sydney repeaters except for England, which is doing the hello, and Summersby Crosswood repeater, and also Westlake's repeater on the 510, so it's doing pretty well. And I'm pretty happy with it. I think the 300 might have been better for UHF. I might have put the 200 up in place of the 510, but it's this match got worse, or the SWA went up and above 147 meg. So it might be the nano version or something rather than the other than the nano version. So it works beautifully on below 147, but not so great above. So that's sort of my playing around with UHF antennas, UHF, and I'm still going to get myself on HF. I've been having a bit of fun down here with the 80 and 40 metres, and always got to come down before I go back up to Southern Highlands. Cheers to all, 7-3s, and have a good night, and possibly see you next week on the Ozzy Pub Net. VK4NGA. VK, I'd like to mention putting a mobile, long mobile whip antenna on a handheld with an SMA socket. You're asking for it to be broken at some point, or stressed, or break the socket, break the actual mounting for it. Short length of cable to a bit of a temporary ground plane, and then you've just got the microphone into the antenna straight off. Okay, for NGA, okay, to buy the mic off. Come on.
VK2BMG and the Ozzy Pub Net, VK4NGO saying thanks, Michael, and good to have you on board again for this Friday night. Alright, we have one more station on the list for the 7-3 round before we wrap the night's net up. VK2VCO, Jason, if you're still with us, over to you for the 7-3 round. I haven't heard from Jason, but he did stumble across us on the Sydney repeater, so he may not have stayed around this late in the evening. All right, we are at the bottom of the list. That means that we're getting pretty close to closing the pub for this Friday night. I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined in. We've got total check-in count of 27, so not our biggest net, not our smallest net, doesn't matter anyway. As we keep saying, there's no net without you guys and the remaining group. We appreciate you staying on board right to the very end. Alright, is there any more traffic, any second says on the 7-3 round before we close the pub net for this Friday night? You got Glenn VK for NGA, now's your time, go ahead. No one heard, so looks like we are done and dusted. Thank you to everybody once again. Of course, many have already checked out and gone to bed, which is understandable, but to the remaining group, again, thanks very much. Thanks to Brent for co-piloting the net. It's always nice to have another net controller. Sometimes we're absolutely totally blessed and we've got like 2 or 3 of us. So, but it's good, and Scott VK4NUT is as you would have heard earlier, is travelling from his home QDH down to my neck of the woods. So he's on the road again. So we wish him safe travels while he does that, and looking forward to catching up with Scott. And also there's a bunch of other people that I'll probably catch up alongside Scott. So it'll be nice. Be good to get a group of people together and do lunch or something like that. I'm sure Alan, VK4AVN, will be involved in that, and a couple of others. Alright, anyway, that's enough from me. Don't forget to lodge your topic suggestions on vkozhub.com.au. Please do that. I'll actually pop one in tonight during the net. So we don't have a lot on the list currently, so we look to the group for ideas because we can't think of it all. So it's always nice to have some topics outside of the admin team suggestions. So if you've got an idea, please pop it in there. It's pretty easy to do. It's just a little form that Brent's put on the website where you can fill it out. And submit that. That would be just absolutely wonderful. And again, if you want to have a crack at net control, then we would welcome that with open arms. Alright, on behalf of the admin team, which comprises of yours truly, Simon VK3XEM, Scott VK4NUT, Brent VK4BNT, and Clancy VK4CGQ, I say thank you very much for your continued participation in our wonderful net. We've got a really good group of people that frequent the Ozzy Pub Net on a Friday night, and we're very grateful for the patronage and for the friendship as well. That's the most important thing. So bid you Ken, really good week, and look forward to seeing you on Ham Live and hearing you on the radio next Friday night. And when we do it again, this is Glenn VK4NGA officially closing the Ozzy Pub Net. We're going to pull the doors shut for this Friday night, lock it up, and we'll do it all again next Friday night. 730, have a great week and a great weekend. Catch you later.